The Last Stand, Chapter 1, Seeds of Discord Sown. The sun, a fiery orb in the vast canvas of space, dipped below the glittering skyline of New Shanghai. Its retreating rays painted the cityscape in hues of orange and pink, casting long shadows that danced across the sleek, towering structures. The air hummed with the constant thrum of hover vehicles and the melodic symphony of 1,000 languages spoken by the diverse populace that called the city home. Earth, a jewel in the galactic expanse, was a testament to humanity's ingenuity and resilience, a beacon of peace in a war-torn galaxy. But beneath the veneer of tranquility, a sense of unease permeated the air. It was an unspoken tension, a subtle shift in the collective consciousness, as if the planet itself could sense the approaching storm. General Thomas Stonewall Jackson stood on the observation deck of the Earth Defense Force, EDF, headquarters, his gaze fixed on the panoramic view below. The city lights twinkled like a sea of stars, a stark contrast to the cold, empty void of space that stretched beyond. A seasoned veteran, his face was a map of countless battles, etched with the lines of hard-won wisdom and unwavering resolve. His eyes, steely gray and piercing, scanned the horizon with the intensity of a predator tracking its prey. A holographic display materialized before him, projecting a live feed of a training exercise taking place in the EDF's virtual combat simulator. Squadrons of sleek starfighters engaged in a mock dogfight, their laser cannons flashing and engines roaring as they maneuvered through the simulated battlefield. Jackson watched the exercise with a critical eye, assessing the pilots' skills and the effectiveness of their tactics. Suddenly, a news ticker scrolled across the bottom of the display, interrupting his train of thought. Tensions escalate between the Krill hegemony and the Xeno Dominion, it read, followed by a series of grim reports detailing border skirmishes, diplomatic breakdowns, and a growing arms race between the two galactic powers. Jackson let out a sigh, a heavy weight settling upon his shoulders. He had seen this pattern before. Two empires, fueled by greed and paranoia, their insatiable hunger for power threatening to consume everything in their path. And Earth, a peaceful planet clinging to its neutrality, was caught precariously in the crossfire. A soft chime from his comlink interrupted his musings. "General," a voice crackled through the speaker. "Lieutenant Petrova reporting." Jackson turned to face his aide, a young woman with sharp features and intelligent eyes. "Report, Lieutenant," he said, his voice gruff but steady. "Sir, we've detected an anomaly in the orbital defense grid. Satellite 37B has gone offline." Petrova's voice was laced with concern, her brow furrowed in concentration. "What's the cause?" Jackson demanded, his instincts screaming that this was more than just a technical malfunction. "Unknown, sir," Petrova replied. "Diagnostics indicate a malfunction in the targeting system, but it's unusual. It appears to be deliberate sabotage." A cold dread settled in Jackson's gut. This was no accident. Someone was testing Earth's defenses, probing for weaknesses. But who and why? "Lieutenant Petrova," Jackson said, his voice low and urgent, "I want a full investigation into this incident. I want to know who's behind it and what their intentions are. Leave no stone unturned." "Yes, sir," Petrova replied, her eyes flashing with determination. As Jackson watched her leave, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The seeds of discord had been sown, and a storm was brewing on the horizon. He would do everything in his power to protect Earth, but he knew the road ahead would be long and fraught with peril. Meanwhile, in a luxurious penthouse suite overlooking the sprawling cityscape, a woman with striking features and piercing blue eyes sat at a mahogany desk. Her name was Zara, and she was not what she seemed. Beneath her human disguise, she was a Xeno diplomat, sent to Earth with a secret mission. Before her sat a group of Earth's most influential politicians and business leaders, their faces etched with greed and ambition. Zara smiled, her voice smooth as silk as she addressed them. "Gentlemen," she began, "I come to you with a proposition. The Xeno Dominion is willing to offer Earth protection and advanced technology in exchange for your allegiance. We can provide you with shield generators, energy weapons, and the knowledge to defend yourselves against any threat." Chapter 2. The web of deception tightens. The lights flickered in General Jackson's office, a momentary blackout that sent a shiver down his spine. It was the third such incident this week, each more widespread and prolonged than the last. Reports flooded in from across the globe. Major cities plunged into darkness. Communication networks intermittently failing. Military exercises disrupted by inexplicable technical glitches. The once seamless tapestry of Earth's advanced infrastructure was fraying at the edges, and Jackson knew it wasn't mere coincidence. "Damn it," he muttered, slamming his fist on the desk, scattering holographic reports. He turned to Lieutenant Petrova, who stood beside him, her face a mask of concern. "Any updates on the satellite malfunction?" he asked, his voice raspy with exhaustion. "No, sir," she replied, her tone apologetic. "Our engineers are working around the clock, but they haven't found anything conclusive yet. The damage is extensive, and the sabotage seems deliberate." Jackson nodded grimly. His instincts told him that these incidents were connected, a deliberate campaign to weaken Earth's defenses. But by whom? And why? His investigation had led him down a rabbit hole of encrypted messages, suspicious financial transactions, and hushed conversations in the corridors of power. He had uncovered a network of sleeper agents, individuals who had seamlessly integrated into Earth's society, masquerading as ordinary citizens while secretly working to undermine it from within. But his efforts were met with resistance. Some of his colleagues in the EDF, as well as influential politicians and business leaders, dismissed his concerns as paranoia. They argued that the recent incidents were mere technical glitches, isolated and unrelated. "They're blind," Jackson growled, "blinded by their own greed and naivety." He knew that some of these individuals had been seduced by the Xeno's promises of advanced technology and protection. They saw the Xeno as saviors, a powerful ally that could shield Earth from the galactic war. But Jackson saw them for what they truly were: manipulators, seeking to exploit Earth's resources and strategic position for their own gain. Meanwhile, in a hidden research facility deep beneath the Earth's surface, Dr. Anya Petrova worked tirelessly alongside a team of xenoscientists. Their collaboration, a closely guarded secret, was focused on developing a weapon that could turn the tide of the war. Anya, a staunch believer in Earth's neutrality, had initially been hesitant to work with the Xeno, but she realized that desperate times called for desperate measures. The fate of her planet hung in the balance, and she was determined to do whatever it took to protect it. Their breakthrough came in the form of a prototype device that could disrupt the Krill's quantum entanglement communication network. It was a risky gamble, but if successful, it could cripple the Krill's ability to coordinate their attacks and give Earth a fighting chance. As the Krill's sabotage intensified and the Xeno's influence grew, the debate over Earth's allegiance reached a fever pitch. The planet's leadership was split, their decision paralyzed by fear and indecision. General Jackson watched the political infighting with growing frustration. He knew that time was running out. The Krill were preparing for a full-scale invasion, and Earth was woefully unprepared. The fate of humanity rested on a knife's edge, and the web of deception tightened its grip on the planet. Chapter 3: Inferno Descends. The tranquility of a crisp autumn morning was shattered by an ear-splitting shriek that echoed across the globe. A blinding flash of light erupted in the sky, followed by a deafening roar as shockwaves rippled through the air. Buildings trembled, windows shattered, and the Earth itself seemed to groan under the onslaught. In New Shanghai, the gleaming skyscrapers that once pierced the heavens were now twisted metal skeletons, their once pristine surfaces blackened and scorched. Sirens wailed in the distance, their mournful cries mingling with the screams of terrified citizens. People poured out of buildings, their faces etched with fear and disbelief as they scrambled for shelter. "This is it," General Jackson whispered, his voice barely audible over the din of chaos. He stood in the EDF command center, his eyes glued to the holographic display that showed the unfolding devastation. Waves of Krill warships, their sleek hulls shimmering with an eerie blue light, emerged from hyperspace, unleashing a torrent of energy blasts that tore through Earth's defenses. The once proud cities of Earth were now engulfed in flames, reduced to smoldering ruins. Reports of casualties flooded in, each number a gut-wrenching reminder of the human cost of this brutal attack. Jackson clenched his fists, his knuckles turning white as he struggled to maintain his composure. "General, we're losing contact with major cities," a technician reported, her voice shaking. Communication and networks are down, and our forces are scattered. Jackson nodded grimly. The situation was dire, but he refused to surrender. He knew that the fate of humanity rested on his shoulders. "Get me a channel to all EDF units," he barked, his voice amplified through the comm system. "This is General Jackson. We are under attack. The Krill have invaded our homeworld, but we will not yield. We will fight for our lives, for our families, for our planet. We will show them the true meaning of courage and resilience. Let every man and woman, every soldier and civilian, rise up and fight. We will defend Earth to the last breath." His words echoed across the war-torn planet, igniting a spark of defiance in the hearts of those who heard it. Civilians, armed with whatever weapons they could find, formed makeshift barricades and ambushed Krill patrols. Soldiers, separated from their units, regrouped and launched desperate counterattacks. A young woman named Emily, a nurse at a new Shanghai hospital, found herself tending to the wounded in a makeshift triage center. She had never fired a weapon in her life, but now, with trembling hands, she bandaged wounds, administered first aid, and comforted the dying. A group of teenagers, armed with nothing but their wits and a few stolen Krill energy rifles, staged a daring raid on a Krill supply depot, disrupting their logistics and giving the EDF a much-needed respite. Across the globe, countless acts of bravery and sacrifice unfolded, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. In the chaos, a squadron of EDF starfighters, armed with experimental xeno-energy weapons, launched a desperate counterattack against the Krill fleet. Their lasers sliced through the enemy ships, sending them spiraling out of control. The Krill, surprised by the ferocity of the resistance, began to falter. Their initial arrogance gave way to doubt and fear. But they were far from defeated. The battle for Earth had only just begun, and the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Chapter 4. A Glimmer of Hope. Within the subterranean labyrinth of the hidden research facility, a tense silence hung in the air. Dr. Anya Petrova, her face illuminated by the eerie glow of holographic displays, watched as a series of complex equations danced across the screens. Her fingers danced across the controls, making minute adjustments, her brow furrowed in concentration. Beside her, a xenoscientist, Xylo, observed with his multifaceted eyes, a sense of anticipation radiating from him. "The final calibration is complete," Anya announced, her voice hoarse with exhaustion. "The Athena's shield is ready for deployment." Xylo let out a low whistle, a sound that resonated with both awe and relief. "Your ingenuity is remarkable, Dr. Petrova," he said, his voice tinged with a hint of admiration. "This device could be the turning point we've been waiting for." With a shared nod, they initiated the activation sequence. A surge of energy pulsed through the facility, and the Athena's shield, a marvel of human-xeno collaboration, came to life. The device emitted a complex pattern of quantum entanglement waves, designed to disrupt the Krill's communication network and sow chaos in their ranks. Meanwhile, on the war-torn surface of Earth, Sergeant Maya Khan and her team of elite soldiers emerged from the shadows, their faces streaked with grime and determination. They had just completed a daring raid on a Krill supply depot, leaving behind a trail of smoldering wreckage and disarray. "That's one less shipment of ammo for those bastards," Khan muttered, a wry grin spreading across her face. Her team, a ragtag group of soldiers from diverse backgrounds, shared a silent nod of agreement. They had been fighting a guerrilla war for weeks, utilizing their knowledge of the terrain and unconventional tactics to inflict maximum damage on the Krill invaders. Their success had not gone unnoticed. Across the globe, other resistance groups had sprung up, inspired by their courage and ingenuity. Civilians, armed with whatever weapons they could find, ambushed Krill patrols, sabotaged their equipment, and provided vital intelligence to the EDF. Back in orbit, the Xeno fleet, led by the imposing dreadnought Valhalla, emerged from hyperspace. Its arrival was met with a collective gasp of awe and hope from the beleaguered defenders of Earth. A message from the Xeno commander, Admiral Zathras, echoed through Earth's communication channels. "People of Earth," his deep, resonant voice boomed, "we have witnessed your bravery and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. We have seen the potential within your species. the unyielding spirit that burns bright even in the darkest of times. We are here to stand with you, to fight alongside you to reclaim your homeworld from the clutches of the Krill. The Xeno fleet, a formidable armada of advanced warships, moved into position, their energy shields shimmering as they prepared to engage the Krill. The arrival of these unexpected allies sent a surge of hope through the ranks of the EDF and the civilian population alike. Humanity, once on the brink of despair, now dared to dream of victory. The Xeno support, coupled with their own unwavering spirit, had ignited a fire within them. They would not go down without a fight. They would not surrender their homeworld to the invaders. They would stand together, united in their defiance, and prove to the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. Chapter 5. The Crucible of Earth. The void of space, once a serene backdrop for Earth, now crackled with the fiery dance of laser blasts and explosions. From the bridge of the Xeno dreadnought, Valhalla, General Jackson watched the mesmerizing spectacle unfold. The combined human Xeno fleet, a dazzling array of sleek fighters and hulking battleships, swarmed the Krill armada like angry wasps. "Athena's shield is holding," Dr. Petrova reported, her voice a steady counterpoint to the chaos on the view screen. "Krill communications are severely disrupted. Their formations are disintegrating." Jackson nodded, a grim satisfaction etched on his face. The quantum disruption device, a testament to human ingenuity and Xeno collaboration, was proving its worth. But the Krill, though disoriented, were not yet defeated. They fought with the ferocity of a cornered beast, their energy cannons blazing, their fighters swarming in desperate attacks. On Earth, the ground war raged with equal intensity. Sergeant Khan, her face streaked with sweat and dust, led her squad through the ruined streets of New Delhi. They moved like phantoms, striking from the shadows, their Xeno-issue energy rifles, spitting bolts of searing light. The Krill, once confident in their superior firepower, were now wary, their every step fraught with the fear of ambush. "Khan to command," she whispered into her comlink. "We've neutralized the Krill command post in Sector Alpha. Casualties are light, but we're running low on ammo." "Understood, Phoenix," Jackson's voice crackled through the static. "Hold your position. Reinforcements are en route." Khan acknowledged the order and turned to her squad. "All right, people," she said, her voice a mix of exhaustion and determination. "We've rattled their cage. Now let's keep them guessing." The squad melted back into the labyrinthine alleys, leaving behind a trail of confusion and fear in the hearts of their enemies. Meanwhile, deep within the Krill flagship, High Marshal Carr paced the command deck, his face contorted in a mask of rage. The holographic display before him painted a bleak picture. His once invincible armada was now scattered and disorganized, their communications in disarray. "Damn those humans," he snarled, his voice echoing through the chamber. "They dare to defy the might of the Krill hegemony. They will pay for their insolence." In a fit of desperation, he issued a chilling order. "Target all major cities. Deploy the annihilators." The annihilators, massive energy cannons capable of leveling entire cities, were the Krill's ultimate weapon of terror. Their activation sent a wave of panic through the Krill command staff, but Carr was beyond reason. He was determined to break the human spirit, even if it meant destroying the planet they called home. On Earth, the news of the Krill's last gamble spread like wildfire. Panic gripped the population as the skies filled with the ominous glow of the annihilators charging up. General Jackson, his face grim but resolute, addressed the people of Earth. "This is our darkest hour," he said, his voice echoing across the planet. "The Krill seek to destroy us, to extinguish the flame of hope that burns within each of us. But we will not falter. We will not surrender. We will stand united as one people and face this threat head-on. This is our home, our planet, our legacy, and we will defend it to the last." His words resonated with the people, igniting a newfound resolve. Civilians flocked to recruitment centers, eager to join the fight. Engineers worked tirelessly to fortify defenses, and scientists scrambled to develop countermeasures against the annihilators. The fate of Earth, the last bastion of hope in a war-torn galaxy, rested on the shoulders of its brave defenders. The final stand was about to begin. Chapter 6, A New Dawn for Humanity. The sun rose over a scarred but unbowed Earth, casting a golden glow on the shattered ruins of New Shanghai. Smoke still curled from the wreckage, but amidst the devastation, signs of life were emerging. People, their faces etched with both grief and determination, clambered over the rubble, helping each other, clearing debris, and planting makeshift flags of hope amidst the destruction. General Jackson stood atop the remains of the EDF headquarters, surveying the scene below. The once proud building was now a skeletal husk, but the sight of his people, working together to rebuild their shattered home, filled him with a sense of pride and renewed purpose. "They're a resilient bunch, aren't they?" a voice said beside him. Jackson turned to see Dr. Petrova standing there, her face pale but determined. She had lost friends and colleagues in the Krill attack, but her spirit remained unbroken. "They are indeed," Jackson replied, his voice thick with emotion. "They've shown the galaxy what humanity is capable of. We may be a young species, but we have a spirit that cannot be extinguished." Petrova nodded in agreement. "And we owe a debt of gratitude to our Xeno allies," she added. "Without their help, we wouldn't be standing here today." Jackson placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Indeed," he said, "this victory was a team effort, a testament to the power of cooperation and shared values." He looked out at the horizon where the Xeno fleet was slowly withdrawing, their mission complete. The war was over, and Earth had emerged victorious against all odds. But the battle had come at a great cost. Billions of lives had been lost, cities had been destroyed, and the scars of war would take generations to heal. But amidst the grief and loss, there was also a sense of hope. Humanity had proven its worth to the galaxy, its resilience and ingenuity earning them a newfound respect. The Xeno, once wary of humans, now saw them as valuable allies, their courage and determination inspiring a new era of cooperation. In the weeks and months that followed, Earth began the long and arduous process of rebuilding. The Xeno shared their advanced technology, aiding in the reconstruction of cities, the restoration of infrastructure, and the development of new, more powerful defense systems. The collaboration extended beyond mere reconstruction. Human and Xeno scientists worked together to develop new medical treatments, sustainable energy sources, and revolutionary technologies that promised to transform life on Earth and beyond. The war had forged a bond between the two species, a bond built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared vision for a better future. Humanity had not only survived the last stand, but they had also emerged stronger, more united, and more determined than ever before. General Jackson, now hailed as a hero, continued to lead the EDF, working tirelessly to strengthen Earth's defenses and ensure its safety in the ever-changing galactic landscape. He knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he also knew that humanity was ready to face them head-on. Dr. Petrova, her reputation as a brilliant scientist now cemented, devoted herself to further research, pushing the boundaries of science and technology. She believed that through knowledge and innovation, humanity could achieve greatness and contribute to the betterment of the galaxy. And Sergeant Khan, her spirit unbroken by the horrors of war, continued to train and lead her Special Forces team, ensuring that Earth would always be ready to defend itself. Her courage and unwavering spirit served as an inspiration to countless others, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience could prevail. As the sun rose on a new day, casting its warm rays on a recovering Earth, a sense of optimism filled the air. The last stand had not only saved humanity, but had also forged a new path for their future, a path filled with hope, cooperation, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.